Alrighty then, I'm back. It's been 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. I have no idea. But since that time, I had the one decoder just like I've got it right now and put it on the track and it blew up. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to get it close up here where you can see the Bernie mark? Yep, it went psst, crack. Now, sometimes that has to do with if you don't get the motor disconnected from the side frame, and I thought I was pretty careful on that. It actually went one direction but didn't go the other direction. That's not typically a side frame issue, but a disconnect issue. But it's definitely one of the drivers because it does not work anymore. So we're going to send this one back. Then I put another one in, and these are NCE, and there's nothing wrong with the NCE decoders. N12 SRs, these are the new ones that have 4 functions on them. And as you can notice, I've cut out for the other 2 functions. I'm going to show you that I've done that on this last one too. And I thought maybe, it had something to do with me cutting it out. But when I turned it over, I don't know, can you see that capacitor right there? That capacitor right there is at an angle, and there's some kind of little mark on the chip that's right below it. This did not acknowledge for whatever reason, and I didn't test this decoder before I put it in. So, not sure what it is, but that one's going back too. So, 2 decoders later, and me tearing this thing apart and putting it back together again about 6 times, I'm getting pretty good at it. Yeah, I sure am. Okay, and so I'm ready at this point. I put the new decoder in. I tested it before I put it in. I put it in just to the motor to test it. Still worked. I cut the little corners out here for the functions 3 and 4. It still works. Crossing my fingers because I don't have another one of these without ordering one. And now I'm going to put the LED in. So if you can see, I have cut the trace on it. So let me show you where I cut the trace. I cut the trace right above the black wire there, between here and there, and I used a meter to make sure that they're not connected. I took the old LED that was in there, and I'm going to do a little function here on a little trainer on LEDs and show you why I took that one out and replaced it with this one. Needless to say, this one is about 1,000 times, no, not quite, 100 times less bright than this one. This is more yellowy. This is white yellow. Okay. Anyways, I took the shrink tube, right, off of it and put it on this one so that we know they're the exact same distance. Put it through the same holes. Made sure that, if you can see down the bottom, blue is on this side, white is on this side. So the positive lead is over here, negative lead is over there. Okay, which is opposite, by the way, if you see the red and black, right? In any case, that's the way it comes off of the decoder. The blue comes over here and the white comes over there. Again, you don't want to try to create any issues. I had to cross these 2 over in order to get that working, but we're not going to create as many issues by keeping these wires as straight as we can. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the blue wire right to the positive, and we're going to put a resistor in for the white wire. So let me get set up for doing that, and I've used the KD negative tweezers. So these are KD negative tweezers. In other words, when you let go, they apply pressure. I don't want to apply too much pressure, but I just want to hold it in place while I solder it. So we're going to go ahead and solder that to that little board. And I'll be back. Okay, I know you want to see it run, so let's do it. Uh-oh, something happened. Oh, hold on. Something happened to my throttle here. Okay, so I've changed the address to 44. Notice the light's on, right? As I reverse it, light goes off, turn it on, make it move a little bit. There we go. Notice that the light is blinking. The light is blinking because the track is dirty or the wheels are dirty or something. So you should look at your lights to see what's going on there before you decide that there's a problem with your decoder or a problem with your engine. That means that there's a dirty contacts. So we'll clean those up. Right, sounds pretty smooth. I mean, there's no sound at all in this engine. This is really good. I may have to bump it up a little bit. It doesn't start. If I put it on 1, right, it should move, and it's not. So we're going to bump that up, and we'll do it in operations mode. Let me get that ready here, and I'll do that in just a second. Hold on. All right, so the way that we do this in operations mode is we put it in the programming track in programming, and then on the throttle we go to program, and we're looking for P0, PO, right, which means operations mode. So we're going to come back to the throttle, back to the engine, turn it on. All right, we're going to pick up CV2, right, 3, 2, and we're going to see, we can't look at what it is right now, but what we're going to do is go to, we're going to exit out. 44 is on 1. In other words, it should be moving right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this. Let me see if I can get them both in the picture at the same time. We're going to change, well, I can get them in the picture, but they're just not in focus there. We're going to change 2, right, until we get something moving here. So let's start with 1 and enter. All right, nothing. 2, enter. 3, enter. Notice I'm hitting the plus sign here. Plus, enter. 4, 5. We're going to keep doing that until we get it to actually start moving. Well, you get the idea. We're going to continue doing that until it starts to move. Sometimes these numbers can be quite high, 30 or 40. Right now it's at 16. I usually do this a lot faster because I'm not using one hand. And we're at 20 already. Let's try to move it up to 27 or 30. Did you see it move? Let's go to 33. Higher. Oh, that one lower. How did it go lower? 37. Enter. Nothing. Wow. 70. What? Oh. Decided it's going to start now. All right. So let's go back again. Let's go back to 0 for 2. All right. Now let's try 20. See if at 20 it will move. Oh yeah, see, now it starts to move at 20. Just barely. Notice the power went out. See? And again, bad wheels. But it definitely moves with 1 with the CV at 02 of 20. All right. Now we need to clean some wheels here for sure. But that's working. All right, let's back it down. Let's back it down to 15. and enter, and see if it still moves at 15. I'm pushing it along here, but I don't feel anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to go halfway, 17? Let's try that. See what we feel. Oh yeah, you can see it moving at 17, just barely. All right, so guess what? Let's try 16. Yeah, trial and error. All right, it just barely moves at 16, so we're going to leave it that. We're going to clean up the wheels, and it'll start moving at 16. So that's how you figure out the start CV or CV2. Alrighty then. So for the test, we're pretty much successful. Our next our next project, but our next step here is to go ahead and put the light in the cab, and this is the way that it would go in. It would go like this, and the two wires or two pieces of brass come down this way, and they actually go into the frame right here where these two marks are, like this. And they're picking up on the left and the right. Of course, we don't want that. We can't have that. So what I'm going to try to do here is we're going to go ahead and cut those off so that they don't touch this. We're still going to use the strips. We're still going to use the board going up into it. We're going to change the LED out, and we need the yellow and a blue wire. So we're going to have to run a blue wire from the other mounting point, which was back up here. So we're going to come through here, come back around, go down through the split, because again, if we're going to run wires, we have to use some wire way, and in this case, the split is convenient for us to use it, assuming that we don't run into either the flywheel or the running gear, right? So we can't put a dozen wires down in there, but we can put one or two. And so that'll go on to the other side, or the plus side. So we got that part, and now we wanted to put a beacon up on top. I'm going to have another wire. What am I going to use? Well, I've got both some green wire and some purple wire. The purple wire, though, is about the right size. So I'm going to use the purple, and again, we're going to come off of 3 and 4 here. So I can come off of 3, right, and go up inside. So now I'm going to have to figure out a way to run a wire up in there. I'm going to have to put a hole here and put the beacon up in there, put a light up in there. So we're going to have to work on that. And let me be back after I figure that out. All right, so what we've done now is you can see I put the beacon on the top, right? So I've used the 126 beacon from Details West. Could have used the 106 if I had one, but I had the 126 and looks darn close. So if you look at the picture and look at that, yeah, not too bad. Blue's a little bit different, so I guess, not too bad. Anyways, put a hole, figured out what it was, put a hole directly in the bottom, right? Put this together, painted the rim of it silver, as it would be kind of chrome. And the best way to handle this is to shine directly up through there. I could have, if it had been deeper, I could have put the LED directly up inside of there. But this will work just as fine. I used canopy glue. So this is the canopy glue that I used, test-rich canopy glue, so that there's no evidence of any glue on the outside or in the canopy itself. And it dries clear. So again, the light will be able to show up through there. Then the device that goes up in the inside of that over here. What we've done, let me get a closer look at this. So what we've done here is See if I can get closer. So what I've done is I've changed the LED that was inside of this, changed the resistor that was there, putting in a 1.3K resistor. Then I put the LED, the little tiny LED, so let's see if we can see that. Right, so this is a surface mount LED right there in the center, right? And that surface mount LED then is going to go up through that hole, and you're going to be able to see that. The thing that I want to do is I put a dam in through the two with just a piece of this adhesive putty that I've got. And we're going to then put a resistor on the green line coming in, and then we're going to use the purple wire right coming through and up into the inside of this. And so we're going to have the blue wire on this side, which is going to be common to both LEDs. Then this is going to be the yellow wire, which would ordinarily be for the main light. And then the top light, we're going to use purple. We could have used green if I had green, but all we got is purple here on the bench, so that's what I'm going to use, at least at this side. I've got a bunch of green, but it's too big. So we're going to use purple and bring that up through the light, and we're going to attach a resistor to the green. And so let me do that and come back when I've got that all set and ready to go. Okay, so now I've got the other resistor in. I had to drill a hole right in the bottom for the purple wire. And so the purple wire and the resistor is in series, right, with the small orange LED that's in the center. That's going for the strobe light. And as you can see now, we've got the two resistors and ready to go, ready to put it in. We've had to notch this so that there was a place for the extra wire to go through when everything's in place. And we're going to go ahead and put it in place now. So let's go zoom out a little bit so you can see what's going on. All right, and then this goes with the light. So there's the light facing out this way. So that goes down like this, like a jigsaw puzzle here. And it goes in there like that. The side windows go in first, right? So this is the one for the back set of windows. I'm sorry, the side windows go in last. So this is the back set of windows. Goes in like that. The front set of windows with the door, all right, goes in here. Now we got a little bit of an issue with the. This has got slots in it, right, for the metal pieces. So the purple wire has to go outside of this. All right. Purple wire has to go outside. Things are gollywampus in there. Let's get them straightened out. Put that back down in there where it belongs. Push down there with my finger. There's a little plastic piece, little clear plastic piece that goes up inside of this gray plastic. So make sure that we get that in there right. There we go. Seated in there well. Okay. And again, this piece goes inside of this. Wow. Went in there so well before. Let me see if I can hold it up against my shirt here a little bit. Okay. Metal. Holy cow. Okay. All right. This goes, metal tabs go outside the window. There we go. All right. So now this goes in like this. These go straight up and down like that. There we go. kind of clipped in there. Heard it go clip. These windows are in solid. Right? This needs to go down, down, down. Why is it not going down? Because it's supposed to go in there before these windows go in there. Come on. Better. Okay. Again, these go down and clip. Here we go. Hope you heard them clip. All right, now we're just, this popped up again. All right, let me see if I can figure out what's going on. Hold on. All right, so you probably saw it. I didn't see it until I took a better look at it. Put my glasses back on, maybe. Even that'll help. Okay, so the resistor was stuck underneath it, and so then I stuffed it underneath there, and then it went well. Okay, these are the side windows now, and the side windows fit down over top of all of that, and they're kind of what holds everything in. So they're going to pop in here. If I didn't put too much bulk underneath that plastic thing. Yeah. Push like that, and it goes up. You heard it pop, right? This one the same way. Push up, right? Pop. Okay, now that's in there pretty good. All right, everything's there. The wire's there, ready to go. Okay. Now the only thing left, right, is to put the seats and everything in. And that would go this way. All right. And notice I have left a notch here for the wire, so it should go right along the edge of that. And then there's two little nibs on the side which connect into the side windows. There's a hole in the side windows. And so, whoops. Put that notch in there for a reason, and that's because there is no room in here. Unless you make a place for the wires, this stuff does not go together without putting a place for the wires. So making sure that the purple wire's in that notch. Now, there we go. See? As soon as I did that, everything fell into place. Okay? And now we're ready to go, except that what we need to do is we're going to have to cut off, right, these two tabs because they can't connect into the frame now. No, what happened to my top? Oh boy. All right, got to go in a search for my orange top. All right, be back. You saw it over there, didn't you? It was sitting right over there. Okay. Let me put it back on again. Okay, so again, a very tricky little puzzle we have here. This wire has to come up through like this and has to attach to this one pin right here. But if I put it on and then try to put this on, it's not going to work. This has to go on kind of after this is all put in place. So in order for me to do that, I've got to kind of put this in place now, but notice I have to put the wire through the hole like that, right? And then set this down on top of this, right? And it'll connect in, it'll snap in. But before I snap it in, I want to make sure that I set the wires, both the white or the yellow and the blue wires. I want to be able to connect those. So the yellow and blue wires also have to come through here, right? So I got too much blue here. I'll cut some of that off, right? So it's manageable. So the yellow and blue wires also have to come through here, like this, right? And so these two are going this way, and the purple wire is going this way, and all of that goes together. So what do I do? Well, I guess I can do the blue and the yellow wire first, right? And then I will, once I get the blue and yellow wire connected, then I can take the purple wire and bring it up through here and connect it. And then I can kind of lay it all over on the top. Now notice this spot right in here, even though all three of these wires might be able to go into this slot here, right? One of the, get closer as you can, might be able to go in that slot. They're not going to be able to go down around this corner because it's a very sharp corner. So what I had to do was I had to file a slot, and remember as we were talking, and I'm probably going to have to file a little slot here on the edge of the gray plastic, which is the interior of the cab, because if you don't allow room for the wires will not fit. So we're going to do that on this particular model. This is so exacting in order to get everything to fit on there. And once I get it on there, it's not coming off again. So let's do the red and blue, or yellow and blue wires, so all the resistors are up in top already. Let's go ahead and do the purple wire, and I've decided to leave the orange top off there until after we test everything and everything's ready to go. So I'll just knock it off again. All right, be back. Alrighty then, so here is the trick in order to make this work. What we're going to do is we're going to allow a little bit more purple, and we're going to measure out how much we're going to need, and then we're going to loop it back around this way, right? So we have extra purple, and we're going to do the same thing with the blue. We're going to have extra blue before we tie it together in here. And then that way we can kind of put it to one side like this while we do all the soldering, and then as we pull it together like this and push it down, it'll all match up. All right, so let me do that. Alrighty then, final step here is to go ahead now and try to rearrange it to get it all together. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to make sure that these don't touch the metal. So as it goes on here, these could very well touch these edge pieces. So what we're going to do is, because the metal's going to go right down along there, we're going to put some Kapton tape along the edge of that just to keep it from touching. And we're using Kapton tape because, well, one reason is because Kapton tape is thinner than other kinds of tape. It's even thinner than Scotch tape. So that's another reason to use it. And especially in a model like this where there's not a lot of room to do anything. Anything that you add to this model, so oftentimes you have to make space for it. So I suspect this is going to be a tight fit here. So we're going to put this down where the tabs would go, which is right there. I'm going to go ahead and cut a notch in it. So make one cut and then figure out where the other cut's going to be. It'll be about right there. So put those two together, and let's cut out the middle of it. Right there. Oh, what a mess. Okay. Again, it's there not for looks, but it's there for insulation. And then we're going to go ahead and put that down inside, and it's going to connect to the metal, which is what we want it to do. We want it to be right there on the metal. Now, the wires have to come through the center of this. So we're going to go ahead and cut it. Now these are insulated in between, so that's all right. And then we can kind of fold this over a little bit. I'm going to cut it again. We don't need all this extra. We just need right at the spot where the metal pieces might touch the frame. And we'll just take all that junk off there like that. Okay, now, again, think about these two metal pieces and the solder joint we just did, and they're going to be touching the edge of this frame. All right, now we're just about ready, and as we put it on, we're going to manage our wires. We want our wires to all come down here in the bottom just as far as they can. So the yellow wire is the one that's the shortest, although we're able to push it to its limits. Let's go ahead and put it in first. Jamming the yellow wire down inside. And we can actually use a screwdriver to push it down in there. Right. And now you can see why, again, this is right down on the edge. We want to make sure that we have it insulated, but also allow a gap for the wire to go through there. All right, the other thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that there's enough room at the base. It looks like there is. Okay, we'll take the blue wire then and bring it down fairly far. We can let it float with this one and this one. All right, and bring it up like this. Okay, we got that one with the blue wire. The blue wire dance around the outside of the decoder. Don't want to have too much wire now laying inside of here. We got to manage these wires, because again, there's no room at the very top for this decoder and the wires. Now we probably want to put a piece of Kapton tape across this edge. We can use a small piece like this right there. Cut the excess off here and over here. Try to keep your work surface clean. You don't want a lot of debris up inside of your engine. All right, there we go. All right, we're ready to put the top on. What do you think? Shall we test it first? Whoops, what is this? What is all that extra wire? Oh my goodness. Okay, got a lot of extra purple wire I didn't know I had. All right. This is why I get paid the big bucks. All right, got a lot of extra purple wire we didn't know we had. All right, so let's again manage that. Putting our Kapton tape across the top here. Extra purple wire. Extra blue wire. Trying to fit that down in here next to the decoder. All right, now let's try it. Try it one more time. Okay, now I'm going to put the shell part on first. And again, it's got two tabs on the side. I saw one, somebody said, cut off those side tabs, make it easier to get it on and off. Well, no, not really. You should just manage it. All right, there we go. Now we need to put this on, but see, now we've got plenty of room now to push these wires down in there, but we don't have to, because I think there's plenty of room up underneath the cab for us to kind of fold them up underneath. Let's see what happens here. Oh yeah, looking good, looking good. And then these tabs go inside like that. And on this side, same. Okay, make sure that it goes all the way up in there. Done. We've got to test it first, don't we? See whether or not all that works. All right, so let's put it up over on the stand. Let's test it out. All right, well, I'm not going to show you the results of this, but needless to say, I think it's the wires are kind of jammed down inside of there, but the motor didn't work like it was supposed to, and it took like 50 before it started. The lights were okay, except they need to be changed. The CVs need to be changed, and the orange light did come on with F2, but we want to change that so that it comes on with like F1 or F4 or something else. And it wasn't very bright. So I'm going to take a look at that. We're going to tear all this apart, but not tonight. It's time to quit. So we'll get after this again maybe next week.